Hello everyone. Thank you all for watching the video. Wishing you all good health and peace. The first dawn of 2025 broke gently over the horizon, casting a golden glow across Diepp's small farm. I stood at the edge of her vegetable patch, where rows of greens unfurled like a living canvas, each leaf shimmering with morning dew. The air was crisp, carrying the earthy scent of soil and the faint sweetness of budding herbs. Today wasn't just another day. It was the start of a new year, and I wanted to fill it with something meaningful for Diepp, the girl whose quiet strength had woven itself into my heart. I knelt by the cabbage patch, my fingers brushing against the cool, broad leaves. "These are beauties," I murmured, slicing one free and feeling its heft in my hands. It didn't take long to fill a basket, the cabbages piling up like green trophies. I pictured Diepp's face lighting up when she heard these would be headed to the village grocery store, bringing a bit of her hard work to someone else's table. That thought alone made the early morning chill feel warmer. But harvesting was only part of the plan. My eyes caught a glint of water trickling from a misaligned pipe, pooling uselessly in the dirt. "Not again," I sighed, rolling up my sleeves. I grabbed a wrench from the shed, the metal cold against my palm, and got to work. The pipes groaned as I twisted them back into place, and soon enough water flowed smoothly again, sparkling as it soaked the thirsty roots. I stood back, wiping sweat from my forehead, and grinned at the sight of the garden drinking deeply under the rising sun. There was something about this place, its simplicity, its life, that made every small task feel like a gift. My gaze drifted to Diepp's kitchen, a modest corner of her world where she'd spend evenings humming over a steaming pot. That spot had a problem though: rain loved to sneak in, leaving puddles that frustrated her. I couldn't let that slide. I hauled some logs from the woodpile, their bark rough under my fingers, and started sawing them into sturdy posts. The rhythm of the saw was meditative, each cut releasing a faint woody scent. Then I grabbed a shovel and dug a narrow ditch to guide rainwater away, the soft earth yielding easily. By the time I was leveling the kitchen floor with a rake, sweat stung my eyes, but I could already imagine Diepp's surprise when she saw her kitchen transformed, dry, neat, and ready for her to make it her own. "James?" Diepp's voice floated over from the gate, light and curious, pulling me from my thoughts. I turned to see her standing there, a canvas bag slung over her shoulder, her hair catching the sunlight like a halo. "What are you up to?" I wiped my hands on my jeans, flashing a sheepish grin. "Oh, just sprucing things up a bit. Company gave the crew the day off, so I figured I'd swing by and lend a hand." Diepp stepped closer, her eyes widening as she took in the scene: the tidy garden, the new ditch, the freshly set posts. "You did all this? The kitchen too?" she asked, her voice tinged with disbelief. "Yeah, just today," I said, pointing to the ditch. "No more soggy floors when it rains. What do you think?" She didn't answer right away. Instead, she walked over, her fingers grazing the smooth edge of a wooden post. Her silence spoke louder than words, and when she finally looked at me, her eyes were soft, shimmering with something unspoken. "James, I don't even know how to thank you. This is so much." I chuckled, stepping closer to give her shoulder a gentle nudge. "Come on, it's nothing. Doing this stuff for you? It feels good. Makes me happy." Diepp's cheeks flushed pink and she ducked her head, but I caught the faint curve of a smile. "Well, you're staying for dinner, no excuses," she said firmly, her voice warm. "I got some groceries. Let me cook something nice for us." "Deal," I said, my chest tightening with a quiet joy. "But I've got a quick stop at the company first. I'll be back before you know it. Save me some of whatever you're making, I'm not picky." She laughed, the sound bright and free. "You better hurry or I'll eat it all just to spite you." The company office was humming when I arrived, a cheerful chaos of last-minute tasks before the holiday. I found Tieu at her desk, surrounded by a fortress of spreadsheets and coffee mugs, her glasses slipping down her nose as she typed furiously. "Tieu," I called, leaning against the doorframe, "got that grapefruit data for December 30th and 31st yet?" She glanced up, pushing her glasses back. "Almost done, boss. Sorted by size A, B, C, large to small. I'll email it in a sec." "Perfect," I said, sinking into a chair. "Oh, and let everyone know they can head home early today. New Year's here, time for family and all that." Tieu's face lit up. "They'll love that. I'll pass it along. So, how many days are you giving the crew off for Tet?" I tapped my chin thinking. Was gonna say 2, but let's do 3. Give them a proper break. And the Tet bonus, how's 3.5 million dong per person sound? She tilted her head, a playful glint in her eyes. It's good, but maybe a bit more? You know, make their year start with a bang. I burst out laughing. All right, you win. Let's make it 5 million each. 30 workers, that's 150 million total. A solid New Year kickoff. Wow, boss. Tieu scribbled the numbers down, grinning. They're gonna be over the moon. Oh, but there's something else. 2 guys at the woodshop are going through tough times. One's dad has cancer and another's mom got in an accident. Any thoughts? My smile faded and I leaned forward, elbows on my knees. Yeah, I heard about that. If they need time off, keep their paychecks full. No cuts. And give each family 10 million dong to help with expenses. If it's not enough, tell me, I'll figure out more. Tieu's pen paused and she looked at me with quiet admiration. That's really generous. I'll visit their homes tomorrow and make sure it's all set. Thank you, James. Don't mention it, I said, waving her off. Taking care of them feels right. All right, you hold down the fort. I'm heading back to Diep's. By the time I got back to Diep's, the sky had deepened to a soft indigo, speckled with the first stars. The warm glow from her kitchen spilled out, mingling with the mouth-watering scent of rice and simmering soup. Diepp was at the stove, her silhouette soft against the light, a strand of hair slipping from her loose bun as she stirred a pot. James, you made it, she called, her smile as bright as the lamp above her. I was starting to think you'd gotten lost. Hungry. Starving, I admitted, pulling up a chair. The table was set simply. Steaming rice, a bowl of greens, and a dish of fish that smelled like heaven. Hey, I didn't grab peach blossoms in time, so I brought some fake flowers and ornaments instead. Wanna deck the place out for the new year. Her eyes sparkled. Love that idea. They're so pretty. Let's do it. We got to work, stringing up the colorful decorations around the small living room. The fake flowers bloomed in bursts of pink and gold, and the little ornaments caught the light, making the space feel festive, alive. We were laughing over a tangled string of lights when a burst of giggles echoed from the yard. I peered out and saw a gaggle of kids chasing each other, their cheeks flushed from the cool evening air. Diep, let's get them in here, I said, fishing a stack of red envelopes from my pocket. Gotta spread some New Year luck. She darted to the gate, her voice carrying over the dusk. Hey kids, come over. We've got something for you. The children tumbled in, their eyes wide with excitement. Happy New Year, one shouted, bouncing on his toes. Wish you tons of happiness. I handed out the envelopes, chuckling at their eager grins. Happy New Year to you too. Study hard, listen to your folks, all right? Oh, and here's some candy, don't fight over it. They squealed, clutching their treasures, and scampered off into the night, their laughter trailing behind. I turned to Diep, who was watching them go, her face soft with warmth. You're so good with them, she said quietly. It's like you make everyone's day brighter. I shrugged, but her words settled deep. Just feels right, you know? Seeing them happy, seeing you happy, that's what matters. She stepped closer, her hand brushing mine. James, I don't say it enough, but thank you. For everything. I used to think I'd always be stuck in the dark, but you've made things feel possible again. I took her hand, holding it gently, my thumb tracing small circles against her skin. Diep, listen. Your past was rough, I know that. But you're not alone anymore. I'm here and I'm not going anywhere. This new year, let's make it a good one, okay? No more tears. Her eyes shimmered, but she nodded, a small, brave smile breaking through. Okay. I promise. The kitchen glowed around us, a haven of warmth and light. The food on the table steamed gently, and outside, the night breeze carried whispers of hope, weaving our quiet promises into the start of something new, a year built on care, connection, and the simple joy of being together.